Well, I hope you enjoyed that 30 seconds of bliss. I'm Isaac with Fun Football Podcast. I got my dad, and we decided we're gonna
Hey,
do.
everybody.
Hey, Dad. Also, I got a little thing for you here. Check this out. See if you can see it. Little Batman and Joker right there. You see that?
Nice.
Thought you'd like that. Anyways, all right. So we are gonna do a she to throw her Lego Batman, the Joker, the Batmobile, like the Batwing away because the pieces were falling, but we kept the Batman and Joker. So now they're my little buddies right here. Um all right, so we're gonna do a first round mock draft for everybody. He's gonna take the odd teams, so he's gonna do 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. He'll get the Packers in there too at 23. I'm gonna do the
Mm.
evens. We're just gonna trade back and forth and we're going to start right now. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I've taken a little break. It's been nice, but help me hit 750. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to pick all the teams. So all of them, one round. Speed doesn't matter because we're taking all of them. So, all right, let's do it. You
All
can
right, you
see.
ready?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, you are up with Tennessee. Any player you want, they're all available. On their board, they've got
Nice.
a dual Carter, Travis Hunter, Cam Ward is third, Mason Graham is fourth, Will Campbell is fifth, um,
hmm
Genty is sixth, Membu has climbed a lot. He's up to seventh. Will Johnson, Shador is up to ninth now, and they've got Tet McMillan at 10th.
What I like about Tennessee's this this pick. Well, they if Tennessee decides to take this pick, they're going to take Cam Ward.
Yeah, I
If they
agree.
trade it, I don't know if they'll trade it out of it or not. But this should be a Cam Ward selection. Because he looks like the best prospect. At the quarterback position. And quarterback is a premier position. Obviously, it normally goes near near or at the top of the draft. So I'm going to go with Cam Ward for Tennessee, number one pick.
6'2", 223 from Miami, Florida. Yeah, we probably won't do trades because we'd have to orchestrate them because we're doing every team. So if you really want to do a trade, we can try to propose it, but like the mock draft last year. Okay, good pick, man. Cam Ward, I like it. Um,
Thanks.
I don't see Kenny Pickett, and I think Cam Ward has the highest ceiling. I don't see Kenny Pickett as the quarterback. I don't think Shador is the best talent here, but I think you have to get a quarterback at the top of the draft. He's a quick processor. If you've noticed, that's been the best that Stefanski is. When he's had the most success, he's had quarterbacks that process the field quickly. And the one thing Shador does is he doesn't take big risks. He loves to check down. He makes high, like he makes his accuracy is off the charts because he's like a Drew Brees. He's going to process quickly, make short throws. That fits into Stefanski's his mo, what he's liked, and I think they're going to go with Shador at number two.
Okay.
So I'm going to take Shador Sanders. So quarterback. Trying to do this as realistic as possible too. So you're back on the board with the Giants. He's injured, but you got a dual Carter. You got Travis Hunter, Mason Graham, Campbell, Genty. What you thinking here for the Giants? Their team needs are
I don't think the injury is going to bother the Giants there, but just the talent level. Some say he's a generational. He's a generational talent. So. And they can use him at cornerback. They could use him in packages at wide receiver.
ooh,
Let's go with Travis Hunter here for the Giants.
so funny. I thought you were talking about Abdul Carter. Yeah, Hunter. I love it. He looks like he could play cornerback or receiver in the NFL. Um,
Mhm.
he could be a lockdown corner for him or be that number two to uh, Malik Neighbors. I like it. So far we got Cam Ward, Shador, Travis Hunter. This is fun, Dad. Okay, so the
Nice.
Patriots, if Abdul Carter's here and Hunter's off the board, I feel like they're gonna go. I feel like they're gonna go Abdul Carter here, even with the injury. I think you have to. If he's on the board at four, I think unless the medicals are looking terrible, I think that the Patriots are going to go with Abdul Carter from Penn State.
I agree.
So this, I mean, I feel like this is pretty accurate. So we got Ward, Shador, Hunter, and Carter are gone.
hmm
You're up at number five for Jacksonville. Their team needs are kind of perfect. It says defensive tackle. You got Mason Graham right there. Tight
Right.
end, corner, tackle, receiver.
um, it's got to be the Michigan defensive tackle Graham, right? Here,
Yeah.
he's just such a great talent. And Jacksonville needs that's a team need. So let's go with Graham.
Yeah, I like it because 6'3", 296. This guy looks like a difference maker. How he wins off the snap. I love this part right here. But they need someone that can lock down that front for them in Jacksonville. He's got good size, 6'3", almost 300. He looks like an elite talent. I like it. Okay, so the Raiders are up here, and I'm gonna go with our favorite player. I think they go with Ashton Genty. This kid looks off the charts. 5'8", 211. I've heard of 215 ish. They're saying scheme versatile back, but one of my favorite thing is he doesn't have the imposing size, but this contact balance, they even have it on here. How he bounces off tacklers. He's a short running back, but he's got a dense build, good speed. They say outstanding. I'd say really good, outstanding burst, and his
Hmm.
vision is freaking excellent. I think he has a chance to be one of the best selections in this entire draft, and gives the Raiders
Yeah,
a.
he's a special talent for sure.
And then you got him paired with Brock Bowers. That's going to make life so much easier for for the quarterback now.
Yeah.
For I can't remember his name from Seattle. For Gino. So,
Gino? Yeah.
so we got Cam Ward, Shador, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Mason Grab, and Ashton Genty to the Raiders. This is pretty realistic. Jets are up. They need a tackle. You got Will Campbell and Membu. Defensive tackle. They're a little further down, but you got Harmon for Morgan. Um, but this is kind of perfect. You got Will Campbell right there. And Tet McMillan. So there's some
No,
good
Mark,
stuff here.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Membu was the top rated tackle. No?
I thought it's
Or
been
is it Carter?
Campbell. Yeah, I've
I
seen
mean
Campbell
Campbell.
from. No, you're good. I've seen Campbell from LSU. He's got a 9.89 RAS, 6'5", 319. He looks awesome. Membu, 6'4", 332, and he also had a 9.89 RAS. Um, he looks pretty awesome.
I'm gonna go with Membu here.
All
I
right,
like I
sounds good.
like Membu for the Jets.
I like it. Okay, so you went Membu for the Jets. I need a corner, and I also need a receiver. They need a corner, center, safety. They've got a bunch of needs here. I think I'm going to go with Will Johnson, even though they've got a lot of offensive needs. I think he's the best fit for them here. Their offensive line isn't bad, actually. I mean, they do need a center, but while I like Will Campbell, I think Will Johnson from Michigan, 6'1", 194. I think he's going to be they're seeing legitimate cornerback one potential. He's going to be a difference maker. Um, I just like this guy's playmaking ability and how fluid he is in
Yeah.
coverage. I think he's going to be like one of those guys you just don't want to throw at because he's going to get like 5, 6 picks a year. I see that in his potential, and it's always potential. But I'm going to go with Will Johnson from Michigan. So 2 Michigan
Nice.
players in the top 8 now. 2 Colorado players in the top 3. So now we got the Saints. You are up. They need a guard, receiver, cornerback, edge, and running back. They have a lot of needs. The top of the board is Will Campbell, Tet
Hmm.
McMillan, Shamar Stewart, the edge from A&M, Tyler Warren, Kelvin Banks, Tyler
I'm
Booker.
gonna put the Saints on because you don't get a lot of athletes or prospects that that grade out like Will Campbell. So I'm gonna say they're gonna just take the best player, one of the best players available in Will Campbell and strengthen their offensive line. I'm gonna go offensive line here for them.
I like it. Good pick because with the Bears, they need a tackle. And honestly, almost just want to take Tyler Booker, but the Bears need to keep hitting. The Bears need to keep hitting the offensive line. I could reach for Marion Hampton. I don't even think it's that big of a reach. I think he actually could be good here, but I'm going to try to do this
Sure.
as realistic as possible. And I'm going to go with Kelvin Banks. Even though they could use Tyler Booker, they just got a couple of guards. So Banks fits more of a need, even though I think Booker's the better talent. 8.26 RAS, 6'5", 315. And I think he's going to solidify that tackle position for the Bears.
So is
So
that 3 offensive tackles in a row?
there was Will Johnson in there, but yeah, there was 3 out of 4.
Oh, okay,
Membu,
gotcha.
Johnson, Campbell, and then Banks. And now
Mm.
we're up at 11, and that saying the 49ers need a tackle, a corner, a linebacker, an edge. So basically, every position on defense other than safety, and a guard. And you do have
Mhm.
Booker there. So the
Too
top guys
early,
left.
probably too early for the guard, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Maybe they trade back here, but they could definitely bolster their. There's another cornerback available. Who's this? Who's the other cornerback? That's
the best corner left is Jade Barron, and then Siobhan Revel are the two with the first
what's the
round
best
picks.
on the board?
The best player on the board is Tet, and then Shamar Stewart, and then Tyler Warren, and then Tyler Booker, and then Jalen Walker, and then Malachi Starks. Those are the top six.
Okay. I don't think they're going to go Tyler Warren here. I don't see them drafting Tet.
Nah, me
Uh,
neither.
so I would say it would be the edge position, either the edge or the cornerback. Who's the best edge available?
Shamar Stewart, he's got a RAS of a 10. He's the second guy on the board. The edge from A&M, 6'5", 267. His RAS was a 10. Pass rush
Wow.
technique is a little undefined, but he
That
only
would
had one
but
and a half
that would
sacks.
team well with Boza over there, wouldn't it?
But they're saying they love his run defense and his pass rushing.
Yeah. Let's take him.
Shamar Stewart is gone. All right, Cowboys are up. They need a running back. They need an edge. They need a guard. They need a cornerback, and they need a receiver. I feel like it'd be the Jerry thing to do to take Tet. I don't know what do you think here? I know I'm up, but what do you think?
Oh, for Dallas?
Yeah,
Gosh, I don't think they're taking the guard this early either. I think they would take the premier positions, you know.
some tight end or receiver, probably right. They wouldn't go linebacker this early.
Right. I don't know about tight end,
Maybe
but maybe.
maybe Michael Williams. I feel like they're either going to go Tet, Michael Williams. They're not going to take a tight end. There's no running back. I mean, it's Omer and Hampton, but he's got a high second round grade on here. I don't think they would do that. I'm kind of thinking maybe Golden. I think they would either go Ted or Golden or Michael Williams here. What do you think?
It's your pick. I think they're all realistic.
I love Ted. I think that's the position they're going to go with because they've really struggled at receiver. I'm going to go with Ted McMillan. That's a tough one because I can't. It's hard to know what Jerry's
So
going
you're
to
gonna
do.
team Tet with CD Lamb out there.
Yeah, that's I think is pretty dynamic for Dak. They've got a lot of needs on offensive line. They've got holes all over the roster. Jerry just like you said, he's gonna go premier position. Okay, Dolphins are up. They need a guard. Booker's here. They need a defensive tackle. There's Harmon, not very far down the board at 20. They need an offensive tackle. Shoot, there's no tackles. Josh Simmons. Yeah, all the tackles went. Safety, you got Malachi Starks.
I
And you
think
got
we're gonna go Malachi Starks here for Miami.
I like him,
Bolster
man.
the back end of that defense. He
Low
is a
Raz.
premier. He's the premier safety in this class, right? So
Yeah,
maybe
he
a
looks.
bit early here. I mean, they could go defensive tackle. But let's go with Starks.
I like him, even though he got a low Raz. He looked like a freaking awesome player. I like him a lot. Okay, so little recap. Well, you know what? Tell you what, let's get two more picks and then we'll a couple more, and then we'll recap the first half. All right, so the Colts are up. They need a tight end. Tyler Warren's here. I'm gonna go with Tyler Warren. They got to get somebody for whoever's going to be quarterback in Indy. They've got need place. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why you would say Daniel Jones to compete with Anthony Richardson. Neither guy can throw the ball. So let's get you a tight end so you can throw it 5 yards. Uh,
Right.
this is fun. All right. So now you're up with the Colts, or sorry, the Falcons. They need a corner and defensive tackle. There's Jade Barron, who I really like a lot from Texas. You got Derek Harmon from Oregon at defensive tackle, and you do have Michael Williams, who is a premier edge rusher from Georgia, 6'5", 260. Safety, there's one more. There's Nick Emenwari from South Carolina. So there's one of every position, and you do have Jalen Walker still here on the board as well. So
What other team needs?
it says cornerback, defensive tackle, edge, safety, linebacker.
So the defensive tackle from the other guy from Michigan is he's still available, but this might be early for him. Who else is available at defensive tackle?
You got Harmon, and then the next one down is Tyleek Williams from Ohio State down at 30 on their board, and then Walter Nolan from Ole Miss at 32, and Kenneth Grant 34 from Michigan. Might be a little early
Right,
on him too, but I like him. But yeah,
Harmon.
Harmon from Oregon, 6'4", 313. Michigan State transfer, explosive first step. In the regular season, he had 39 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, 4 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles for the Ducks.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna
he'll
go with him.
be a first. You gonna pick him?
Defensive tackle, yeah, Harmon.
Yeah, I agree. Cardinals are up. They need an edge. They need a defensive tackle. They need a receiver, which I'm considering doing for them. But they need an edge, and I think that's the direction they're going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and take Michael Williams here for the from Georgia. I think that is hits a need. You went defensive tackle, so I'm going to go edge. Tyler
Okay.
Booker continues to slide here, but I think that's the way they're going to go. So the first half of the first round. We got Cam Ward to Tennessee, Shador Sanders to Colorado, or sorry, to Colorado, to the Browns, Travis Hunter to the Giants, Abdul Carter to the Patriots, Mason Graham to the Jaguars. So far, this is looking pretty good. Ashton Genty to the Raiders, Membu tackle to the Jets, Will Johnson cornerback to the Panthers, Will Campbell, that was a good pick, to the Saints. I can't believe he fell to 9. Calvin Banks, tackle to the Bears. Shamar Stewart, edge rusher to the 49ers. Ted McMillan, receiver to the Cowboys.
Hmm.
Malachi Stark, safety to the Dolphins. Then we got Tyler Warren, tight end to the Colts. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle to the Falcons. And then Michael Williams, edge rusher to the Cardinals. Dad, this is awesome. Really good
Thanks.
stuff. You
It's
were
good
up.
first half there.
Yeah. So here's the deal. It's saying edge, and that's if they keep Trey Hendrickson, who's in trade rumors. We're at the middle of March right now.
Hmm.
Uh, they just, I don't know. Did you see the deals they paid out to Frick, man?
Yeah, to
It was
Higgins and Chase, Jamar
so
Chase,
can
crazy.
they've got Hendrickson for one more year? Are they just going to play him and then franchise tag him, or are they going to trade him? Because I don't know if they can afford him. But we were talking about the other day. He's shockingly he's leading the NFL in sacks the last 2 years with 30 freaking 5. This guy's
Hmm.
awesome.
He's good.
Um, so it's saying edge, defensive tackle, guard. So Booker's there, cornerback. You got Barron, and then safety. So there's some good spot positions
I
here.
just think they're gonna go with the guard here, to protect, the quarterback, Burrow,
Sounds good.
Joe Burrow.
Tyler Booker,
So
6'4",
Booker
321. Big man.
Booker he's very highly rated, so
I like
why not go with him here?
I
We're in the
like it.
second half of the first round.
So the Seahawks need a guard and a tackle. They need offensive line help. And while I want to take Golden for them, if they don't get some offensive line help, it's not going to matter who their quarterback is. They're going to be, Sam Darnold. If they don't protect him, they're going to be in deep trouble. They went out and signed Cooper Kupp, so I don't think they're going to prioritize receiver much. They still have JSN. They've got Cooper Kupp. I think they'll hit receiver, but I think they'll hit it later. I'm not just doing this for the Packers. I think they're going to go Josh Simmons, tackle from Ohio State, 6'4", 317. He did have an injury, but he's still going to be one of the highest prospects in this draft. And I think that if they got to protect Darnold. So I could see Matthew Golden here, but I think that Josh Simmons is the pick.
Yeah, all right, good.
So you're up with the Bucks. You got cornerback, safety, edge, linebacker, defensive tackle. I got good news. You got an edge at 19, which is where you're at, and Jalen Walker was 15, and he's fallen. This is good for the Packers because the Bucks really don't need a receiver. They re-signed Godwin, they've got McMillan, and they still have Mike Evans. So this is working out great
I
for the
like the
Packers.
Jalen Walker here for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I agree because if I know Bucks fans are going to be mad at me. I can't remember if they still have Devin White, but their linebackers are getting up there. So good pick. Okay,
Yeah.
Denver's up. This is interesting because they need a running back. They need a receiver. So Golan does make sense. They need a linebacker. They need a cornerback, and they do need a tight end.
Who's
And
this? Denver?
yeah, and Colson Loveland's here. Matthew Golden's
didn't
here.
they just get Ingram, free agent?
They did get Ingram, but it's still saying tight end because Ingram's 31.
Sure.
But in one mock, the mock I read you right before we did this, it had them taking Colston Loveland.
Sure.
So it's kind of interesting. The NFL.com when I read you. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could see Golden here. Actually, a surprise pick for you. I could see Hampton here.
Sure.
Sneaky. I like Hampton for them. It's your pick. I'll just read players that are available.
It's my pick?
Oh no, wait. Am I up? I'm evens, right?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I can do what I want here. This is awesome. You know what, Dad? Would you go with Loveland here, or would you go with Hampton if you were Denver?
If I was
Or
Denver,
would you go Golden?
depends on how I rated them. I might again tap into that defensive tackle. Who's the highest rated player available?
Okay, so highest player available is Golden, who I really
Is it?
like.
Yeah.
Edge rusher Pierce, but they don't need that. Safety, they're good. Jahad Campbell from Alabama, they do need. Jahdae Barron, they do need another corner, and Rebels there, so there's defense. And then Colston Loveland's here, and this kid looks awesome too. So
Yeah. They could go so many different ways, but it's your pick.
I think I'm gonna go Colston Loveland. I just really like that fit. It's not just because I'm trying to push Golden down to the Packers, because you could pick them right now with the Steelers, even though they got DK. They still need a receiver. So here's the interesting thing with the Steelers, Dad. You know what I could see here? I could see Jackson Dart.
Okay.
I don't know what you're thinking, but at 21, their next pick is until. Oh, I can tell you 1 second. Oh no, we're only doing the first round. I don't know. I feel like I could see the Steelers picking. I know they did this with Kenny Pickett, but I could see them picking a quarterback. They still don't have one, and they went and got DK with Pickens. So they, other than they like Jalen Warren, maybe he can hold the running back spot. I feel like they're thinking they do need a running back. It says quarterback, defensive tackle, corner, running back, receiver. They got a lot of needs.
Yeah.
What you thinking?
Tell me their needs again.
Quarterback, defensive tackle, corner, running back, receiver.
Yeah.
I just don't know what they're doing at quarterback. They don't have one. They literally don't. Fields is gone. Russ is just sitting there. Rodgers has not accepted the deal. Who knows if he will? I think that's the direction it's going to go, but it hasn't happened. So we'll know more in the next month, because I think Rodgers will make a decision by then. But the Vikings don't want him. It's either Giants or Steelers for Rodgers, and then Russ is going to go to the other.
This feels like Jackson Dart. So we're gonna take him.
Yeah, Jackson Dart. All right, Chargers. You know it sucks. I think this is the Matthew Golden pick.
I'm not sure about that. The Chargers got a free agent receiver too, didn't they? Devontae Adams?
No, that's the Rams.
Okay, well, who did the Chargers get? Let me think.
I can look it up really quick. The Chargers, they did get some players. Did they get a receiver?
Am I thinking wrong on that?
Let me look. They got Conklin.
Oh my God.
They got Mekhi Becton. They got Andre James. Hold on, I'm looking right now. They got Mekhi Becton. That was kind of cool. They got Andre James as center. They got Mekhi Becton, so they solidified their offensive line. Becton was good for the Eagles. They got a linebacker from the Texans. They got a defensive tackle. Mike Williams, they got him back. They did get a receiver.
Oh yeah, and they're thinking about Allen.
And they got
Najee
year. Harris. Yeah, they're thinking about bringing Allen back. They still have. I mean, they've got the stud. They got Ladd McConkey.
What does it say for team needs on the Chargers?
Defensive tackle, tight end, receiver, cornerback, safety, or center. I'm up here.
You're up.
What do
you? It's Harbaugh.
Yeah, the other problem is that Igbuka's still here. If I do go receiver, is there a defensive tackle I could go with? Because that would be. I could go with Tyreek Williams. The problem is right now I'm picking for the pack. I'm thinking I want Golden to fall to the Packers. Would the
Hmm.
Chargers pick him? They would. There's no tight end. They got Mike Williams. I think I got to do this the fair and right way. I think Golden goes to the Chargers. You're up with the
Okay.
Packers. Sorry, I just if he falls to 22, that's a steal. I like this kid. Looks awesome. So I was trying to
Right.
justify it, but I couldn't. You got to, yeah. That like I could. The rest of them kind of makes sense. So, all right, you're up with the Packers. You still got at receiver. You still got Burden and Egbuka. Hey, you know what's cool though is Pierce Jr. fell dad for edge, and you got Nick Scorton. There's some
Yeah.
really good stuff here.
Tell me about Scorton again.
So it's saying edge corner, ironically, is second somehow on this silly site, and then receiver, a defensive tackle, linebacker for our needs. Scorton is the edge rusher from Texas A&M, 6'2", 257. Might be the most aesthetically pleasing pass rusher in this class. He's wise behind his ears, beyond his ears, regarding his arsenal of rush moves, and his well-developed frame is NFL ready, despite being only 20 years old. Unfortunately, gaining unnecessary weight for the 2024 season likely hurt his draft stock. His more natural rate of around 265, he would still offer a steady base as an edge hitter while slightly improving his initial get off and
I mean, I
bend.
remember reading about this guy. I liked him a lot. Who's the other guy available?
James Pierce Jr., he fell. 6'5", 245 from Tennessee. He has 9.38 RAS. He projects better as a stand-up edge rusher in a 3-4 base D, but he could put his hand to dirt and fare well in a 4-3 base. He'll likely need to add a little more weight to his frame. He's 20 pounds, almost 20
And
pounds lighter than the
Scorton
other
is
guy.
only 20 years old, so let's go with Scorton.
You didn't go receiver. Yeah, that's what I think the Packers are going to do too. It's accurate. All right, Vikings are up. They need a safety. I'm going to make this easy. I think they go with Jade Barron. I think he's the
Mhm.
pick. While I like Nick Emenwari, I think Jade Barron can play corner or safety, and it fills a really good need for them. And he's an awesome player from Texas. So you're up at 25. The Texans need a tackle after trading away Laramie freaking Tunzel to the Commanders. Why did they do that? I don't understand. They were already having pass protection issues. Then you trade away Tunzel. I don't get it. So they need a tackle, guard, and center. It literally has all three, and then receiver, and then defensive tackle for the Texans. So any spot you could pick on the offensive line. The best guy available is Zabel, the guard from North Dakota State.
They're going to trade out of this spot.
They are. I agree. They're going to just trade down and pick a guard in the next
Or
round.
they're all, or why not? They could use this. Dell is an issue. Diggs is probably gone. Why not pick a Buka here?
Yeah, I agree. That actually makes a lot of sense. Burton's here too. But I agree. I think I'd take Igbuka if they were both there. The Rams are available, or the Rams are up for me. They need a linebacker, and I see Jahad Campbell right here with a 6'2", 235 weight and a 9.87 RAS. And I think he could actually be a solid blitzer. And I think he fits a really good need for the Rams. So I'm going to take him. I like him a lot. Ravens, you're up. It says they need a guard, and then corner, and then edge. And this Nate James Pierce keeps falling. Linebacker, and then safety. So, yeah, pretty much everything on defense or guard.
I like the defense. The defensive tackle position is deep. It's not.
Tyler,
What's that?
you like Tyleik Williams, or do you like? Let me look. Hold on.
I like the Michigan guy too. Tyleik Williams is good.
So yeah, you got three here. You got Williams, Walter Nolan from Ole Miss, and Kenneth Grant from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking Kenneth Grant?
Yeah, let's go with Grant.
I agree. Man, 6'3", 330. Dude, if he
Yeah,
hits for the Ravens, that feels like
he's
a
an
Ravens pick.
he's an anchor.
Okay, so it's saying Lions are up for me. I want to get your thoughts on this one. It's saying edge and then guard. Oh, I think I gotta go James Pierce here. 6'5", 245, 938. That's a steal. Never mind. I'm gonna go with him. He's fallen. I'm gonna take him for the Lions. All right, you're up. You got it says edge rusher for the Commanders. Corner. Good news for you. Siobhan Revels here. Safety, linebacker, and then receiver.
Is
But they did go.
Hairston Is cornerback Hairston available?
I think he is. Yeah, nobody took him.
Let's go with the cornerback Maxwell Hairston for
Oh, you
Washington.
like him? Yeah, they have him at 57, but I like him too. All right,
I like him.
Bills are up. It says cornerback, and I got Revel here, and that's a big need. 6'1", 194. I like him. His height, length, and speed. He's just got. I mean, the fact he's 6'1", 190. I wish he was a little bit bigger, but he's got long arms. I think that are really going to help him. I'm going to take him. All right, Dad. Two more picks. That does two Super Bowl teams. Chiefs are. You got the Chiefs. You're up. It says they need a tackle, defensive tackle, guard. Who they? Yeah, Dad. They traded. Did you see that? They traded. Oh man, I can't remember the guard's name. They traded him to the Thuney to the Bears.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I don't know if you want to take Zabel. It's actually pick 31. That's right where they're at. Or
Is offensive tackle, is Banks available?
let me take a look for you. Banks. No, I took him earlier at
Okay.
10. At 10. Sorry, man.
Nolan is still available?
Defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Sorry, wife was messaging. What was that? Was it guard?
Nolan defensive tackle?
Oh, defensive tackle. Yep, he's there. You want to take him?
Yeah, it's Kansas City. Take him.
Okay, and then I'm up for the Eagles, and they need an edge, and I'm gonna go with. See, they lost Becton. This kid from Boston College, you know a lot about him? The Aziriku from Boston
No,
College.
not much.
6'2". Okay, so I'm gonna read about him. 6'2", 248. Stock production, but his tape is flooded with pro-ready technique. He uses his hands incredibly well to shed blocks and get to the quarterback. And he plays with a relentless passion when he's chasing down the ball. He got 16 and a half sacks. I don't know if that was just last year or his whole college career. So edge rusher's a little deeper than guard. I'm just going to take a look at guard really quick. Guard just falls off so fast, and I like Zabel. I'm going to go with Gray Zabel, guard. They're big about their offensive line. I think that fits the Eagles. All right,
Nice.
let's recap this thing. So Cam Ward, number 1, you took him for the Titans. Good pick. I went Shedeur Sanders for the Browns. And then you got Travis Hunter for the Giants. Great pick. I went Abdul Carter for the Patriots. I think I listen to Bill Simmons all the time. I think he'd be excited about that. Mason Graham, awesome pick at 5. I mean, if he's there, that's a steal. Genty to the Raiders. I took him at 6, and we've been seeing that mocks.
Genty goes to Las Vegas.
Yep. Membu, good pick to the Jets. They need a tackle. Tyron Smith didn't work out. It doesn't for Fields. He's never going to succeed if you don't protect him, and he's had problems with that his whole career. So, Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan to the Panthers at 8. Will Campbell, tackle to the Saints at 9, and then another tackle to the Bears, Calvin Banks Jr. from Texas to the Bears at 10. Shamar Stewart, edge rusher from Texas A&M to the 49ers at 11. Then we got Tet McMillan, receiver from Arizona, to the Cowboys at 12. Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia, to the Dolphins at 13. That's a good pick. You made that one. I went Tyler Warren, Tennessee,
good pick.
Tight end from Penn State, to the Colts. I think that fits a big need for them. Derek Harmon, you picked for the defensive tackle from Oregon for the Falcons. That was a good one. Michael Williams, edge rusher from Georgia. I think that's a cardinal thing to do. I think they got to fix that pass rush. You went Tyler Booker, guard from Alabama. That was a great pick, a steal. He's going to be awesome for the Bengals. I went Josh Simmons, tackle from Ohio State for the Seahawks. They got to fix up that O-line. You went Jalen Walker, linebacker from Georgia, to the Bucks. They got to get a linebacker.
Him. He's good.
And their linebackers are getting up there, so their defense had a lot of issues last year. That'll help. Colston Loveland, I took him, even though they got Evan Ingram. That gives you some youth and 1-2 tandem for Bo Nix. With you still have Cortland Sutton, so now you're starting to get some weapons up in Denver. You went Jackson Dart for the Steelers, quarterback.
Oh my gosh!
So
Pittsburgh quarterback.
only 3 quarterbacks in the first round. No Milrow, but the Steelers were the third team. I went Matthew Golden, receiver from Texas for the Chargers, and the Packers continue to not take a receiver. You went Nick Scorton. I actually like the Nick Scorton pick. If they don't go receiver and they get an edge, I'm
If
not
he
going to be
gets
too.
scored, and I think that's a win.
Yeah, if we get Scorton and then we get a solid receiver in the second round, we get a couple, and one of them is good. I think we're going to be
Mhm.
okay. I would love to get a receiver at 23, but if Golden's gone, I think Scorton's the pick. So I'm not even that upset about it. Johnny Barron, one of my favorite players in this draft. I think this
Yeah.
kid could be awesome. Um, Quarterback safety from Texas for the Vikings. Ewan Igbuka, I like that pick for the Texans from Ohio State. You're right about Diggs, and with Tank Dell having that bad leg injury, you're down to Nico Collins, who was banged up last year. So you gotta have somebody for CJ Stroud to throw the ball to. So that's a good pick.
Yeah. Could have been
Um,
Burden.
and if it could have been, and Tank Dell comes back, Burden didn't go. Holy crap! Did we not pick Luther Burden?
He didn't go.
That's insane. I think he's a first round talent. Jahad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama, he's fallen on their board uh, for the Rams. And then
Mhm.
at 27 for the Ravens, we took Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle from Michigan. At pick 28, James Pierce Jr., edge rusher from Tennessee. I like that pick for the Lions. Well, it's just somebody to pair with Hutchinson, and he's younger. So even though Zadarius was good last year, that's somebody on his timeline. You got some youth there, and they love their defensive line in Detroit. Commanders go Maxwell Hairston, cornerback from Kentucky. Another cornerback, Siobhan Revel, cornerback from East Carolina for the Bills. And then
Right.
you went Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, to pair with Chris Jones. That was cool from Ole
Hmm.
Miss. And then I took Gray Zabel, guard from North Dakota State.
Wow.
And that is it. That was fun, guys. Okay, so go give us some draft grades. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to put that one up later
That's
today.
fun,
So,
Isaac. Thank you for having me on.
yeah, thanks. All right. And that was awesome. Thanks, Dad. Everybody, please go like and subscribe. Give us some draft grades. That was a blast. And me and him are going to have some more mocks for you guys soon. But let us know what you thought of the team needs and our picks. We tried to make it as realistic as possible. So we'll see you guys again soon. Thank you.